Have you ever felt stuck as a photographer? Like your photos aren't improving, your style isn't quite there yet. So you open Instagram, only to feel even worse. I've been there. But instead of scrolling, I turned to books. And they changed everything. Today in this video I'll be sharing 8 books that have shaped and influenced the way I see and take photos. Whether you're feeling stuck or just need some fresh inspiration, these reads might be for you. This is my Bible. It's a complete documentation of all Sofia Coppola's films, filled with behind-the-scenes photos and insights into a creative process. It gives you a rare glimpse into an artist's journey into making a movie, and it even inspired me to organize correctly all my raw files, my negatives, my content sheet. I think it'll be helpful for the future to see all the work that I've done so far organized in one place and see how my style has evolved in the years. Now, I'm gonna say something strong, so if you're easily triggered, please skip this video. But I believe that in order to be a good photographer, videographer, visual artist, or even performer, you have to have good taste in movies. And you might wonder, well, how do I develop a good taste in movies? Well, you have to watch a lot of them. Find a genre that really speaks to you and a director whose world you connect with. Start by studying how they frame their shots, how they play with colors, and how they use the lighting. You're subconsciously gonna start adapting all those elements in your photography. You probably already know these books, but this series of books is actually very, very good. It's from the same author, Austin Kleon, but if you have to pick one, probably start with this one, Still Like an Artist. It really dives deep into this concept of that nothing is original and everything has already been done. And when you're starting your photography journey, it's a good thing to steal from other artists that you admire. But that doesn't mean that your point of view and your perspective is not original. Actually, it is. Learning and borrowing from artists we admire is a crucial part of finding ourselves and finding a style that is true to us. There is a type of photography I've always been very fascinated by, and that's war photography or photojournalism. You probably see the movie Civil War that came out last year. Also the movie Lee, that's about Lee Miller, a Vogue photographer that took these iconic pictures in Hitler's bathroom that probably you have seen. If you're interested into this sort of topics, this book is actually an incredible read, and it's pretty much a memoir of Lindsay Addario. She's covered the conflicts of Afghanistan, Sudan, and more recently Ukraine. This book really explores, like the movies, the implications and the ethics of capturing such intense moments and people at their most vulnerable. She talks about covering some of the most dangerous conflicts in the world and the ethical choices she faced along the way, and the sacrifices you have to make in your private life in order to pursue this career. You can't do this job for money or for fame. You do it because you can't see yourself doing anything else, and it's almost call. And he also highlights the power of photography in telling what's going on around the world and how she turned these heartbreaking situations into photos that you can't take your eyes away from. I also have another book for you if you're into the photojournalism world. This is Magnum Ireland. It's a collection of amazing photography. It features the work of the masters of photography, pretty much. Cartier-Bresson, Martin Parr, Steve McCurry. It documents life in Ireland from the 50s to the 2010s, I believe. So it's very interesting to see the evolution through photographs. This book is pretty much a masterclass in street photography and documentary photography, showcasing how the greats use compositions, lighting that they have available to create these incredible images. Some of the photos here will stay with you forever. I want to show you a couple of images that I've found that are some of my faves. This one here, I think, is incredible, the use of composition and the lighting, the harsh lighting. This one as well is great. I really like harsh lighting, and I really love to study how other photographers use harsh lighting. Not sure if you're familiar with my work, but I love shooting interiors and architecture and Apartamento magazines, which They almost feel more like books because they're quite thick. They are full of stories of artists and their home spaces. It's such a cool and intimate look into artists' houses. I think this is one of my favorite issues. It goes inside Solange's houses, and she has an incredible house. The photography is all film photography, and it's quite spontaneous. Usually when you see videos like, or magazines like Architectural Digest, it's heavily curated, and you can tell they have stylists and interior designers going to their houses and, you know, prep everything for the shoot. But in this case, they're mainly spontaneous, and you can tell it's just the actual way these people live. Whenever I'm prepping for an interiors shoot, I always go buy some new ones and obviously go through the old ones I have, and I always find myself flipping through them for some new inspiration. Next, I'm gonna be talking about a classic that probably everyone has in their houses. What is? Oh, it's here. It's these two books here, but this one specifically. Read this if you want to take great photographs, by Harry Carroll. I remember this is probably the first photography book I ever bought years ago, and remember reading this rule that really changed everything for me, that the real subject of your photo is not the object of the landscape or the person you're taking pictures of, but it's actually the light. Another piece of advice that was a turning point in my photography was to look for shapes when you're taking pictures, and how to use composition and how to guide the eyes of the people that are looking in your photos. But honestly, this little book is packed with very valuable advice, and if you have friends that have just started photography or yourself want to brush up the basics, I think this is a great pick. Really different book. This is How I Make Photographs by Joel Meyerowitz. I hope I'm saying that right. This is completely different from the book that I've just mentioned. This is definitely not technical. It's more about your approach and how to put your heart into your photography. And it's just a great book. This is another incredible masterclass in street photography. The advice that are given in this book, they are not technical at all. They're more about approaching photography with your heart, but at the same time they are very straightforward and well explained tips that you can literally apply to your street photography straight away, to any kind of photography really, especially portrait photography too. It talks about slowing down, paying attention to light, paying attention to the people, and how to form a connection to take a meaningful pictures of them. If you watched this video the way through, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments if you read one of these books or if you have any more suggestions to share. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.